EAFC 24 has finally arrived, and of course, as always, we are excited to get into the A-League teams, have a look at the ratings, some of the transfer budgets if you're into Korean mode. Let's jump into it. First of all, we've got Adelaide United. Of course, big news for the Reds. They've lost Craig Goodwin, who is one of the top rated players in the A-League, one of the top rated Australian players in the game at 76 rated. When you look at the Reds, I mean, it's still a decent team, plenty of young players in there, but the ratings aren't necessarily that high. Isai is the top at 67, alongside Joe Gauchi, the keeper, as well at 67. Plenty of potential there with him. But a decent young squad. A lot of people keen on Nestori Irinkunda, a player who's been linked with, Bayern Munich, German Giants. 17 years of age, 62 rated overall. Could easily jump up if he has another big season. Time to have a look at Brisbane Roar now. Florian Berenguer has joined the side. He's 69 rated. Jay O'Shea, probably their best player, 70 rated as well. It's a decent team, actually, when you look at the ratings and the options that they have, even off the bench as well. A couple of young options coming through. Thomas Waddingham looks like he might be their main striker this season as well. My team, Central Coast Mariners, of course, have lost quality with the likes of Jason Cummings, Sammy Silvera departing. It's a decent team. Alec Huel's back. He's 61 rated. Joshy Nisbet in midfield, 66. But Marco Tullio, he's the main guy. He can play in midfield, but most likely going to be playing up top for Mariners, 69 rated overall. Brian Kaltak, good to see him, 68 rated, 83 pace. Love that. And here's a look at the subs and the reserves for the Mariners as well. Again, plenty of young players in there. MacArthur's star signing for this season is Valerie Germain, the former Monaco striker, 72 rated in this game. Ulysses Davia up there as well, 70 rated. So they've got some class players. Clayton Lewis and Bacchus, both 65 as well. A little bit weaker in the defense, but some decent options off the bench here. Some young players who could grow. Melbourne Victory really need a bounce back this season after a disappointing campaign last year. And it's a decent squad that they've built. Plenty of options across the park. There's good depth. It's the two central defenders who have got the top ratings in De Silva and Roderick Miranda. Bruno Fornaroli still with a decent rating at 68 overall, despite being 36 years of age now. I don't think we'll see this formation, more of a 4-2-3-1 probably for Victory, with Jake Brimmer, you can see down here, 69 rated. Always a good option. Jake Brimmer, he picked up the Johnny Warren medal just a couple seasons ago for Victory. But as you can see, plenty of young players. Once again, it seems to be sort of the current theme in the A-League to be promoting young players, getting them into the A-League teams. Daniel Arzani could be set for a big year at Victory as well. And Victory's rivals, Melbourne City, a very strong squad. Jamie McLaren, 73 rated overall. Matt Leckie, 74. Togo Arslan, 74. This is a strong squad, man. Hamza Saki, 71 as well. Obviously, in real life, we know that the likes of Leckie, Naboot currently out injured. Good in defense as well. Cyprian alongside him. Decent ratings. Socceroo left back in Az's Page. It's a really strong side. Jamie Young, 68 overall. Even when you look at the bench, there's decent options with the likes of Callum Talbot, Galloway, and again, here's the reserves. Newcastle Jets have moved on from Arthur Papas to new coach Robbie Stanton, and this is their team here. Archie Goodwin could be set for a big season after Beckham Mikkeltadze departed the club in the off-season. Bertamir, the French midfielder, could be key for them, 69 rated overall. Ren Episcopo, if he stays fit, he's a class player. It's a good team, Newcastle Jets. I do like it. Here's a look at the reserves as well. Some good options across the park. Perth Glory now under the leadership of Alan Stajic. I doubt that they'll be playing a 3 at the back, which is what they played last year. Alan Stajic generally plays sort of a 4-4-2 sort of system. Oli Bozanic recently signed for the club. That's a big signing. Adam Taggart, 68 rated overall. Maybe not quite as good as he has been in past years, but could be set for a big season. Adam Taggart, Daryl Latchman, Mark Beavers, two higher rated defenders in there as well. Good to see Ollie Sale with a decent rating as well, 68, one of the top keepers in the competition as well. And again, plenty of young talent coming through at Glory here. You can see the reserves are stacked with decent players. It's that front three for Sydney FC that looks really dangerous. You can see here, all in the 70s. Fabio Gomez as a striker, Joe Lolly off the right, Robbie Mack off the left. Good midfield as well, experienced with the likes of Caceres, Bratton, and Burgess. Rodwell in defense, obviously no Alex Wilkinson. They have recently signed a Brazilian centre-back. He isn't in the game yet. I don't think they've updated it to include signings that have been made just recently. But look, overall, really, really good, strong side for Sydney FC. Even have included some young players in there with the likes of Manatides, Kaczarski, Holman. These guys could be set for a big breakout season. Wellington Phoenix has one of the weaker squads in the A-League competition this year. Oscar Zawada, Kraev, 68 rated overall. They're the star players for Phoenix. But aside from that, it's a little bit lackluster. Some lower ratings across the park. I think Scott Wooten could have been bumped up a little bit. I think 62 is maybe a little bit low for him. He's one of the best centre backs in the competition. And as you can see here, not too much depth, at least in FIFA. I'm sure they've got plenty of young players who could slot into the team, but certainly lacking a little bit of experience compared to some of the other A-League teams, Wellington Phoenix. Daniel Pena is, of course, the top-rated player in Western United's lineup. Back in the A-League, Daniel Pena. He played at the Jets a couple of years ago. Fantastic player. Keep an eye on him this season. Lockie Wales off the right. You've got the likes of Najareen and Dan Zaki who can join in the attack as well. Noah Botic, 61 rated, had sort of, I guess you could consider a breakout season last year. 21 years of age, has a lot of potential to grow. Again, not too many options off the bench and reserves as well, but again, plenty of young players I'm sure that they could bring into the squad if needed. And then lastly, Western Sydney Wanderers, who have a very decent squad. You've got the likes of Brandon Borello and Marcelo, who are leading the way in the 70s with their ratings. Jorrit Hendricks as well will be joining this team, and he's in the 70s as well. You've got the likes of Ninkovic still at 67 rated overall, Brillante 66. They did lose Tommy Machella, which was a big loss at the back, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do at the back there. West Sydney Wanderers. Good to see Lawrence Thomas as well. Decent rating, 69 rated overall. And new Swedish striker, Marcus Antonsen. He's 67 rated. Something a little bit disappointing at the moment. All of the A-League teams don't have their updated kits, so no new kits just yet. Hopefully we'll see this fixed up in a future update, but as you can see here, all these teams here, just with the standard kits they had from last season. And for you Career Mode fans, here's a look at some of the board expectations, transfer budgets, all that kind of thing for the A-League teams. Adelaide United, pretty balanced all around in the mediums. Brisbane Roar, the same as well. Central Coast Mariners, obviously financial is going to be a crucial thing for them. Youth development as well. Central Coast Mariners also have the lowest transfer budget in the game as well. Interesting to see MacArthur FC very low with the expectations except for financial. We've got Melbourne Victory, one of the biggest clubs in the league. I would have expected their domestic success to be a little bit higher. It's just in the medium. They obviously have a pretty decent budget as well, but it's their rivals, Melbourne City, who have the biggest budget in their game. Not surprising as well, over 8 million. Critical domestic success, of course. And medium continental success for Melbourne City, who are a team who are looking to have success in Asia. Newcastle Jets as well here, looking to focus on the financial. Perth Glory, youth development is the go for them. Sydney FC here, critical in their domestic success. Wellington Phoenix with one of the lower transfer budgets out of the A-League sides, and then you got Western United, high in the financial, again a pretty low transfer budget. And then finally Western Sydney Wanderers, low overall but high with domestic success. So there's a look at the A-League clubs in EAFC 24. Let me know in the comment section, which team would you like to see me do a career mode with in EAFC? Let me know. Thanks so much for tuning in. My name's Lockie, and I'll see you guys in the next one.